Hello everyone, Don here, and today I'm coming at you with a favorite game of mine that you probably wouldn't have expected. It is Dynamite Headdy on the Sega Genesis, or more specifically, the Mega Drive, the Japanese version of Dynamite Headdy. Because many years ago, in 2019, I've played the American version of this game on the channel. And the American version of Dynamite Headdy was hard as balls. It was rental industry hard. But with the JP version, it's much more tolerable, not as many dick moves as any other version, and there are also added cutscenes that, I guess you could call them cutscenes, that are not in any other version. Escape hero, go! Now the game starts out on a run like hell section. Oh wow, we're just coming out of the gate swinging with this one. But it's not that hard. There will be some things that might hit you, but you'll take minimal damage if you do get hit. You got this giant robot who in the credits I think is titled Teruso-kun. In English it is Robo Collector, so a bit more generic on the name in the English version. What he does here is he's just grabbing all the other puppets. Use your multi-directional attack to headbutt the robot right in the crotch. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what's with Sega games and characters attacking things with their heads, especially if they have to target somebody else's crotch. I mean, Rystar did it, freaking Decap Attack did it, and now Headdy's doing it. What the hell? I guess it makes sense for Headdy because his name is... duh. Run, you son of a bitch! Run! Okay, why have you stopped running? Oh god! Oh, Japanese. I can't read it, and I don't have a translated ROM of this game, unfortunately, so... either I'm gonna have to translate it myself, or we're just gonna have to grin and bear it. In the American version, they did not even bother with the text, they just skip right to the boss fight. And this guy was brown. He was a cat. And his name was Trouble Bruin. His name in the Japanese version is Maruyama, which I think you can actually hear in the his theme song. He actually has a theme song, which coincidentally is still in the American version, complete with the voice clip of Maruyama. Anyway, here's the first boss of the game, and one of the easiest first bosses you can ever face in a video game. He'll power up, jump up and down 4 times, and then dash to the left of the screen. Very easy to leap over. Once the boss gets back up, that's when you want to hit him. He only takes 2 hits to take down. And if you think the bosses in this game will remain this easy, no. No, they don't. Even in the easier Japanese version of Dynamite Headdy, you're still probably going to die a fair few times. That's just how things were back in the day. Even easier versions of games were still kinda hard in their own way. Unless if we're talking about Contra hardcores, in which case, yeah, the Japanese counterpart is way too easy. 3 friends, Now here's another difference between the Japanese and American versions of this game. The title cards that you see at the beginning of the stages in the USA are references to popular movies. Movies such as Star Wars, Fatal Attraction, and Mad Max, to even more recent films, at least at the time, Boys in the Hood, Lethal Weapon, and Jurassic Park. And I do love my references to movies, but unfortunately the Japanese counterpart does not have all that. The title cards here are more generic and just list the location. That's about it. They don't even reference Japanese movies, which is kinda disappointing. Here's the tutorial section. Now you can skip past these if you want, they're only really here for bonus points. The floating disembodied head above me is called Headcase, and he's going to be your way of switching out weapons throughout this game. Headdy, the guy you're playing as, will have a different assortment of weapons or heads at his disposal. This one I have on right now gives me invisibility and invincibility. Depending on what Headcase's icon is on, that's what type of weapon you're going to get. Some are useful for combat, others will kill you, just straight up kill you or hinder you a lot, and some will even take you to bonus games. This head I like to call I win. Actually, a lot of heads in this game are just straight up the I win button, but there is one head in this game that is a menace, and that's going to be the pumpkin head. At least that's what I think it's called. That's what I've always called it, by the way. I didn't own this game with a manual, so don't quote me on that. But a huge ironclad thing comes down on Heady's head, and it slows you down tremendously. And the bad thing is, the thing only appears during bosses, which if you get it, then you might as well put the controller down, because there's nothing you can do. Though there is a catch, if you see Headcase with the pumpkin head icon, just do not aim for pumpkin head at all. That is your best bet. You're going to save yourself a lot of heartache. Anyway, here's Hangman, who is not Headcase, don't worry, this is a different guy. He's your friendly platforming helper guy. Now you can grab onto him to get to higher ground. Dynamite Headdy is one of those platformers where just simply jumping is not going to do it. You need to think outside the box. Use and manipulate the environment to your advantage and get around. If a jump looks like it's way too far to reach, then just use your head. In the literal sense, of course. So many puns to be had with this one. I forgot to mention this, but the music in Dynamite Headdy is freaking incredible. It has that high energy that you would find in a Sonic game, but it also feels like it's of better quality than some of the Sonic games on Genesis. And there are also the percussions. I mentioned this in my Alien Soldier playthrough a couple of months ago, but Treasure uses these drums that sounds very realistic for the Sega Genesis. And there are also some weird guitar samples in this game too. It's kind of odd. This whole soundtrack is odd but endearing, and I love it. And Headdy heads off into space. I must go, my planet needs me. Anyway, here's the final friend, and his name is Bo. He is your guide to point out targets on a boss. And boy does he not get annoying quickly. I mean, honestly, just look at this guy. You think this is fast enough? Bo does have his uses. He'll point out a target that you would not think to immediately go for. And there are some bosses where the boss himself, or maybe even you, will just knock Bo out of the fight to make things interesting. Yes, he can actually kick Bo's ass. He's basically Omo Chow before Omo Chow existed. Wow, that's forward thinking on Treasure's part. But then again, every Treasure game, to my knowledge, is forward thinking in a way. Yes, even the McDonald's game. And they did develop a McDonald's game for the Sega Genesis back in like 1993. I think it was their first game too. It was one of Treasure's very first games ever. But that's besides the point. Let's go to North Town. And here's the #1 difference I noticed. North Town in the USA was known as Toys in the Hood, a play off the 1991 crime drama Boys in the Hood. It's actually kind of neat. The Americans localized it to where everything's more referential and recognizable. Anyway, there are points and secrets scattered throughout Northtown, and whenever you complete a special requirement, you'll hear this disembodied voice say, "You've got a secret bonus point." And it's very creepy. The voice samples in this game, though good and very high quality, they are creepy. Oh, I've been pronouncing that word wrong my entire life. It's not yes, it's yes! Oh my god. This game is fucking weird at points, and I love it. Anyway, here's a bonus game that Headcase will give out on occasion. It's basketball. Or a warped version of basketball. It's, yeah. Since Headdy doesn't have opposable thumbs, he has to use his head. And I have to imagine this shit hurts, because have you ever taken a basketball straight to the face? That fucking stings. Anyway, this game is sort of self-explanatory, and the more mini-games you do of this, the more the quota will go up. Right now I have to get 5 baskets, later on it will be 10, and so on and so forth. And yeah, you want to aim for the star icon hoops. Anything else will either do nothing, slow you down, or just straight up fail you, because both cannons are taken out, and you need those cannons to spawn out the basketballs. Completing this minigame will nab you a secret number, and you're going to have to remember that secret number because that will come into play at the end of the game. Good old Headdy. Again, I love the voice clips even though they are weird. Okay, let's move on and take this show on the road. Because this is a puppet show or some sort of play or something. So think of it as a fourth wall within a fourth wall, if you could even wrap your mind around that. So if we were to believe that this is just a show, what happens if Dynamite Headdy just gets a game over? Does the show go off script? Does he get fired? Well, I don't know. Actually, I do know. He does get fired. He just leaves the building. It's very surreal, but then again, it's Treasure, so it kind of makes sense that it's this surreal. Anyway, here's a mini-boss. Now, this guy is easy. He just jumps to the left, try to suck you in, jumps to the right, does the same thing. Rinse, lather, repeat. Destroying those 2 toys along with the robot are secret bonus points. Now there are 2 ways you can go about this level. You can either go up the wall with the spike head or go through this narrow passageway. You will need the head that will shrink you down to this size in order to go through this area. It kind of reminds me of Sonic CD. Huh, that's weird. That small enemy is up there. I wonder if that's a secret bonus point. Only problem is I can't get to it. I'm gonna whoop your ass. At least that's what I think the conversation's conveying right now. I don't know. Alright, get ready to Okay, random pony here. Where'd he come from? Now here's where the pony's saying, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Also, why is there this weird cat underneath me? Things are getting strange. Anyway, here's the second proper boss fight of the game. Complete with the Nutcracker Suite. Nice. Oh god, bow. You want to aim for the tail. And this is also the first boss fight where the pumpkin head will show up, and you do not want to grab the pumpkin head. It will kill you. Now the pony thing will have a couple of different attacks, mainly just jumping off screen and trying to crush you. Now, contrary to what it says on screen, you do not want to be underneath the arrow. But other than that, the pony will throw basketballs, it will throw these caterpillar enemies that you have to take out. And also this... Oh, I mentioned the basketballs, never mind. I think there's one more attack the pony does too, and I'm forgetting what it was. Oh, there's the pumpkin head. You see that 14 symbol head case had? You do not want to hit the 14 symbol. Or it's a kanji symbol that looks like a 14, which is why I said 14 symbol. Anyway, you want to grab these for extra continues. Because when you know it, in this game, you start off with no continues. So you have to earn extra tries if you want to get further into the game without this creeping thought of, oh boy, what if I get a game over now? Because Dynamite Headdy is a longer platformer for the Sega Genesis. You do not want to get a game over on, say, like, the last boss, which is definitely possible.
Yes. Thank you.
Who the hell was that? Well, stay tuned for part 2 of Dynamite Headdy where we'll figure things out.